Everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to a new video, and welcome to Moscow region. Welcome to a live stream from my kitchen. Well, really, it's the dining room now. The previous videos I used to do were in the kitchen before we moved our place here. So, thanks for joining me. I know it's a little bit of a late notice for a live stream. It's also a little bit later Moscow time as well. So perhaps a slightly different audience if it was earlier in the day. I did announce on my Telegram much earlier in the afternoon that I was planning to do a live stream. I just wasn't sure. 7, 8, 9. I was going to even think of doing it as late as 11 p.m. local time. It's just after 9 p.m. here, 9, 11 p.m. So yeah, thanks for joining, everybody. I hope you've had a nice day wherever you are in the world. It's been awfully cold here today. I went out to the shops briefly for a couple of things I needed to do today, and actually lots of little things I needed to do, and I could do them in just 2 different places very close to my house here. So it was nice. I didn't have to make a trip to Moscow anywhere. The temperature outside now currently is -8 Celsius. So maybe where you are in the world, let me know. And maybe what the rough temperature is. It says -9 Celsius, actually. Maybe you can see that. And then the real feel is -17. It actually does feel that cold. When I was out earlier, it was like -15 or 16, if I remember. Wasn't that long ago. It was only a few hours earlier than now. So, yeah. I was on Telegram most of the day today. I did stay home. I was trying to work on another video that I'm going to have out hopefully in 2 days or 3 days' time. I went for a very nice walk yesterday in Red Square and into GUM department store. It was snowing. It was not particularly heavy snow, but it was cold and snowing, and it was just nice to walk around. And I hope it'll come out as a nice video of a bit of it, just a walk in the center of Moscow. I enjoyed the actual walk, even if I didn't film. I hadn't been there for a little while in that area, so. And actually, in the GUM department store, they've already got the Christmas decorations up, which is one of the first places around Moscow to have that. So it was nice to see that. If anyone does want to support the channel, there is a couple of options. Doing a thumbs up or a like is the easiest way. Posting comments, even posting comments on this video after it's finished, or watching videos and posting comments. It's very hard to get around to everybody's comments. It's nearly impossible. If you might have seen the video that went on the channel today, I actually put it out a little bit earlier than normal. The video today, that was of Globus supermarket, which is the one that I visit a lot when I go to and from Moscow. It really is my local shopping center, my Russian typical shopping center. And because it has a Globus supermarket in there, it's also the typical supermarket that I visit a lot. Realistically, though, where I live by my building here, I've got, what did I say? It was 7 or 8 supermarkets within a walking distance of my house. So I really don't need to go to a hypermarket like today, for instance. I can buy things locally. Not necessarily different, but no different from buying it at a hypermarket. So yeah, in the pin comment, there is a couple of options if you'd like to help the channel. One is called donation alerts, which is very easy to use. You can also do that anonymously. You can also post a nice comment there if you like. I'm happy to read that out. There's also the super chat option, super thanks, super stickers. I keep thinking what they're all supers called. That goes in through YouTube. Donation alerts can be used from anywhere in the world. If you haven't used it the first time, you've got a few things you've just got to log into. It's really no worries, though. It's very popular for streamers, mostly for gamers who use it, probably more than YouTube streamers, but it does work. What else? I do actually have a drink here with me, and I've got Coca-Cola today. I know a lot of people tell me that Coca-Cola is not good for me. The store I went to sold me classic Coca-Cola, and it's from Belarus, and this is the first time I've seen Belarus Coca-Cola. There is actually a kind of an analog of Coca-Cola called Bella Cola, and this one obviously isn't it. This is classic Coca-Cola. And what I found interesting is, I don't know if it's going to focus on that or not, but there's a sticker of authenticity here with a QR code, which are very popular in Russia for products with expiry dates and things like that. And then there's also like a hologram similar to what you'd see on football shirts or sporting gear. And it's actually got a code right there. I don't know if that would ever be searchable or not, but this is original real Coca-Cola. I did read on the Globus video someone posted, because I showed Coca-Cola there, that was from Kazakhstan. I think it was the ones at the 2-liter bottles. That Globus does actually sell British Coca-Cola, Polish Coca-Cola, I think German Coca-Cola. They've got so many different types there. And this was actually at my local Rinok or food market today. And I did post a photo in the Telegram channel of a different shelf in the fridge with Italian Coca-Cola. And if I remember rightly, there was also a British bottle as well. There were small glass bottles. The Italian one was a liter glass bottle of Coca-Cola. So I will be sipping on that. I might even, let me see if I can do the traditional Coca-Cola opening. Oh, well, apart from the very noisy lid, excuse me for taking a drink on the stream. It is Coca-Cola, absolutely is. Yeah, one of the comments I got, I'll just talk about this very quickly, then I'll move on. But someone mentioned that, the Coca-Cola that they're bringing into Russia or into Globus, for instance, being that it's a German supermarket chain, it's not original Coca-Cola. Now, the thing is, around the world, depending on everyone's watching from, this might be interesting. Coca-Cola in Australia is produced at a factory in Australia, and that's Australian Coca-Cola. Indonesian one, let's say Bali, which is the next nearest country, would be produced at a factory in probably Jakarta. And then, for instance, in New Zealand, I'm not sure where it's made, maybe Auckland or Wellington. And then, perhaps they may trade between each other, and you may be able to go to a shop that's got New Zealand products that would sell the New Zealand produced Coca-Cola. So yeah, the Kazakhstan one is made at a factory in Kazakhstan, which is a Coca-Cola factory or under license from Coca-Cola. And it's still original Coca-Cola. It's just brought to Russia for resale. And then the same with the British one. It's actually got made in UK. That I don't have that can here, but it's very clearly the English can of Coca-Cola, which they're selling in Russia. So it's not fake or, not original. It still is. It's just brought to Russia and resold or sold. It's not really resold if it's sold only once, right? So, by the way, thank you for the likes so far, 43. Thank you so much. 60 people watching. It may go up or down. I'm not sure with this later time, Moscow time, if it helps, versus people maybe in, well, I guess Australia, it would be early morning. In America, it's after lunch, depending on the east or west coast. Europe, it's still early evening. So I've kind of got the right time, I think. So, and there's also a poll there as well. Do you like winter or summer? Because it was so cold outside today, I thought it was just an appropriate title because of the cold weather. It was basically just trying to snow today, but it was more like dusting. That's what I call it, when it's just barely snowing. Yesterday in Moscow center, it was more like snowing, but it just wasn't really sticking to the ground. There was only just like a white kind of coating. I like it when it really snows and it's like falling quicker than they can clear it away, So there is a few people who have already joined the chat. If you'd like to chat to each other, it's really simple. Just put an @ symbol and start typing someone else's name who you want to chat to, for instance, and then it will highlight on their chat notifications if you're chatting to each other. Yeah. What was I going to say? That's about all before I go into the chat. So yeah, I hope everyone's had a nice day. I've got the lights on today. It's a little bit brighter. It always feels warmer in here too when I've got the light on and everything plugged in. I really like to put a little fan on my computer because I just realized I've got 3 different cables running in and out of the computer because of the setup for the live stream. And my wife got me a little, I think it's a dinosaur. And this is the kind of different teddy bears and icons of the new year in Moscow. If anybody knows about them, let me know. And that was given to me by my wife actually 2 days ago. It's been sitting as my little memento on the desk here. So yeah, the first person in the chat was Melanie, who's a longtime watcher of the channel. And thank you so much for supporting the channel over a long time. Joanna, hello in Portugal. Hopefully we'll catch up with you in the end of December or January. I'm sure, no doubt, we'll do some stuff and go to somewhere different and see some different things. I'm sure we've got 97 more supermarkets for me to show you. Only kidding. Maybe a shopping center or two, somewhere different like that. Sergey as well, Zdravstvuyte. I know you're also in the chat quite frequently as well. Not too sure who's joining me here from the Telegram channel, Traveling with Russell, but it's been very active, the chat today, especially in the last few hours in the evening. All Ali Awad, hello. What's the topic today? The topic is really just the cold or cool weather and the change in the weather in Moscow. So we had snow about 3 weeks ago for a couple of days, and then it melted away, and then it's been unseasonally warm, as they keep saying, which it really was in Moscow, where I am, or Moscow region. And then pretty much yesterday, it just plummeted away, the temperature to -7, -8, -9. And then that real field temperature -15, 17. The only thing with Coca-Cola, it makes you burp sometimes. I'm sorry. I don't often buy these Coca-Colas because they're more expensive than what they used to be, of course, purely because they're imported in the logistics. I'd much prefer just to buy a regular Russian cool drink and drink that. I don't have one on my floor today, so I have this one only because they're just better value and they're just as drinkable and enjoyable. So the commercials before the stream. Okay, so I have them switched off during the stream. You do have an option now where you can choose to, what does it say there? Insert ad. So I can press a button and an ad will come up now, or reasonably now. The pre-stream ads are controlled by YouTube. You can't switch them off unless you unmonetize the stream altogether, which I don't do. I keep as monetized, and then only after the stream ends, I put mid-roll ads on the video because it's a long video, right? So sorry about that. Greeting from St. Petersburg. I know there's lots of people everywhere. Victoria, hello. What will you talk about tonight? Well, just generally about maybe the last video. There's been lots of comments about it. Good. I mean, mostly all positive comments about the Globus supermarket video. I did the video about the motorbike dealership. There was actually a couple of comments that I had to delete from that as well because people got a little bit emotional about me going and walking in and filming in a motorbike shop. Now, I actually deleted the comment. I didn't reply to it because I don't want to engage with people who have a little bit wayward thoughts. And actually, the funny kind of backstory to that is when I walked in there, I went up to the administration or the desk where they were and asked if it was okay. And then the guy thought for about 1 second. He's like, yeah, no worries. He really didn't even think about it. He just said, it's completely fine. I'm like, okay, I'm going to walk around maybe for an hour, not just 5 minutes. And they were completely fine. I even chatted to them afterwards, actually probably for a good half an hour, 45 minutes. The very start of the video, it's not in the video because I didn't film it, of course, but I met the administration of the whole complex, or that building, the next building, the one after, and I think they're the owners of the site where all the little shopping center of car and bike shops were, and they were super excited and interested about me making a video, and they encouraged me to come back and go to some of the car dealerships, and they gave me their contact details if anything happens, or they want to maybe someone's querying what I'm doing or why I'm walking around the territory of the buildings. So yeah, I kind of had like double okay to film. It's just polite of me to do that. With Globus, for instance, I just walk in there and I know it's completely okay to film. I know one of the ladies, that's one of the managers of the store, is actually one of my subscribers. I'm not sure if she watches every video, but she did recognize me when I was filming a video quite a few months ago now, but it was just quite a funny interaction that we had. Because I was actually looking for something while I was filming because I needed to buy a certain item to take home. And then she's like, oh, you're the guy from the YouTube videos. And yeah, it was just a funny story. Mr. Jamo, -6.5 in Finland. It's a little bit colder further east from where you are there. I hear there's a bit of chatter about them closing certain border crossings between Finland and Russia. Not all of them, but just certain ones. So we are due for our first snowfall tomorrow, says William. Yeah, I think tomorrow's Wednesday. I think Thursday, Friday, or the weekend, there'll be more snow here. It sort of tried yesterday and today. I feel also it needs to be a little bit warmer than it's -9, it says on the computer there. So it's better when it's about 0 or 1 Celsius. How long am I in Russia? I'm here for as long as I want to stay. I have residency to live here. I originally came 9 years ago when I first met my wife. Came the first time. Hi. Hello. That's like 2 highs. I'm a huge fan. Oh, thank you so much. Maybe you can come and fan my computer. So I've got a fan just off to the side here, but I only switch it on occasionally when it gets too hot. So you're a huge thanks for being a big fan. Thank you so much. Hello, Russell. Здравствуйте. Again, I can't read Russian writing. I can read certain letters of the writing, but not all of them. So it's always a little bit hard. Hi, Russell. Just subscribed from Liverpool. Currently, it's 7 degrees in Liverpool. So it's kind of like England weather. That kind of not hot, not cold, kind of just 7 degrees. And I've not watched football. I think it's been like a bit of a off week for English football or Premier League and things like that, because they were playing the internationals, weren't they? They were like World Cup qualifiers and stuff like that. So yeah, I was watching the darts on the weekend. I think that might have finished now, or the final might be today or yesterday. I kind of lost track the last couple of days. Is it safe to visit Russia? Yes. No different from visiting any other country. You can get planes, you can go to the airport, you can fly in. Obviously, just got to get a visa before you come. But yeah, I mean, it's completely okay. I mean, I wouldn't tell someone not to come to Moscow if they chose to come here or they choose that they want to come. Alicia, hello. Lots of hearts. Thank you so much. I wonder if there'll be any hearts. You can do that. There's one right there. You can do little hearts and fireworks in the chat. And they come straight. They don't do anything. I don't think. Maybe they help the chat somehow. I don't know. But there was one just showing up as I put this one on the screen. Flops. Hello. Greens from New Zealand, Jimmy. I liked your latest supermarket video yesterday. Those salmon were super big. Calculated a kilo and it's pretty cheap, just over $3 New Zealand a kilo. Yeah, I didn't really focus on any pricing. I'll either do it on pricing the video or I won't. I won't sort of start and stop. I'll have a bit of a plan before I walk in, just so it's easier and fairer, knowing there's a little bit more work to do to put the correction of the subtitles later or put some little pricing translations on the screen. So yeah, there is a bit of a spread in the price of fish in Russia. Depends if it's fresh fish or the frozen fish, and really depends on how you're going to eat it. A lot of people like the frozen fish is good. You can defrost it, of course, and cook it, but a lot of people make soups with it. There is a bit of a spread in the pricing, and then depends on where you go as well. Not necessarily supermarkets are cheaper. You could go to a local fishmonger at the local rinok, like it's called a rinok or a food market. The one I went to today, there's 2 different fish people. Actually, there's 3. There's a new one. So take a little sip. Watching Russell, that was an easy survey. Yes. Well, actually, it's a little bit of a spread, right? Winter cold and snow, summer hot and blue skies. Oh, watching Russell on this channel. Oh my gosh. This is the cough that I've not coughed for about 6 hours. And I just cough now, so I'm sorry. That's very strange. I wonder if that 36 and 36 will change. Can you change the poll answer after you've done the poll or not? I'm not sure if you can or not now. Oh, there's firecrackers going off everywhere in the chat there now. Thank you, whoever just did that. Because I'm looking over at the other screen where I see the YouTube studio chat. And then what I stare at right here, or, well, more like, oh my gosh, it's hard with the reverse camera. There's a chat right here that I'm looking at. That's the one I can put up on the screen. Oh, Blimjim. Is that no? Inzi. Oh my gosh. Sorry, Victoria. Hello. It doesn't show the channel, the icons when you do them either with StreamYard, the one that we're using here. RC Palmer. Hello. Oh gosh. You see now I'd start myself off coughing. Greeting. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to catch up on the Russian chatting because I've gone way past now. Which is a little bit awkward. Sorry. It's safe in Russia. We don't. Yes. Okay. Yes. Totally agree with that comment. It's safe in Russia. Blah 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 blah. I'm glad to see you, bro. Thank you. Thank you, Film Soviet. Film Soviet. Thank you for your channel and your research. I often spend my dinner watching your new videos. Wow, thank you. Probably don't do as much research as I should. I tend to just look up some of how many stores there are, particularly for the car ones. I did look up some of the statistics and things like that. Yeah. Very curious if donation alerts will work. The last donation alerts was 9 days ago, which was prior to the last live stream. So I'm wondering what's going on with that. Democratic product is the fake. Yes, I should do that as a question, shouldn't I? This is original Coca-Cola made at the Coca-Cola factory in Belarus. There's actually QR code here. Okay, normal barcode. And that one right here. So a lot of the dairy products in Russia now have these QR codes. When you go to buy them in the stores, you have to scan the QR code, not the regular barcode on the side, because it reads the QR code as at the point of purchase or point of sale, I guess you could call it. So, I only noticed that when I got home, it had that on there. So it's actually had to be put on at some point, probably more likely in Russia, it was added. From Melbourne, I'm married to a Russian from Ufa. Well, the same with me. The Dapper Cook. My wife is also from Ufa. We were there back in summertime. We went and visited for a week. There's actually a couple of videos on the channel I went to. We actually went to a resort for a couple of days with my wife's cousin and wife and son. It was a couple hours drive from Ufa. Really nice place. We'd been there before. We're very lucky to get some days stay there because we hadn't booked there. We'd booked somewhere else. That fell through, and then I called and did my best to convince them to see if there's any cancellations. We managed to stay. There's a video on the channel. Hope you're good. Yes. Apart from this silly little, it's probably just, I'm going to call it a live stream cough because pretty much all day today, although I've been home and I went out to the shop briefly, I didn't feel anything. New Zealand at 7:20 in the morning. Jimmy Stone. There we go. So we've kind of hit. Okay, so it must be. Okay, so 2:30 a.m. in Perth, 5:30 Sydney. So that'd be 7:30 Melbourne. Oh, New Zealand. Sorry. Thank you, Russell, for your energy and optimism. Thank you. Yes, always. This is me. Hello from South Carolina. Billy, USA. Hello. I've been to Charleston on the cruise ships. I sailed out of there a few times. Very strange because there's like half the population of Charleston. Okay, South Carolina is a big state, right? But people particularly who live in Charleston where the ships dock or that area, kind of half the people love them because of the economy boost and the amount of tourism and hotel usage and shopping and car parking gets paid for. And the other half don't like it because it spoils the view. Maybe the seagrass gets disturbed. So it's a really tough thing because there's obviously a cruise ship turns up with 4,000 or 5,000 people who are going to get on and off the cruise to start or end a cruise. So you get that instant boost of tourism. Thank you. I see now the hearts and the fireworks going off. Thank you so much. And then there's the other half of people who don't like the ships at all. And it's very strange, but it's understandable, right? I mean, would you want a bit of extra traffic or parking where you live? And do you want lines at some of the stores because everyone's going to the same places? This is a Dole Dragon. Oh, okay. It looks like a dragon. It's probably almost like a Christmas ornament one at the same time. You could hang it from the tree. I didn't really read the oh, it's way too small to read it. It's not made in Russia, that's for sure. 204 is the barcode. Anybody knows barcodes? Yes, totalitarian drink, and it's not fake. Period. Yes, I normally drink Chernogolovka Baikal. That's my go-to drink. I occasionally buy the cola, but I only buy it in a can like this, or in a glass bottle. So, for your epic hometowns all over the globe. It's a dragon, yes. Glad your face is clearing up from the supermarket video. Yes. Yeah, also I'd just gone to the barber that day earlier, like literally an hour earlier. And it was a different barber from the previous barber that I had. I've had a few different barbers. My wife really wants me to try to do these kind of spa days where I go and do a little bit of a short back and sides. So I probably did film it a little bit too close to that. So also I haven't eaten chocolate pretty much in a few days either. So Welsh, it looks like a Welsh dragon. I don't know. We'll have to see what he says to me later. Ran in South Carolina. Hello, Russell. Greetings from Rostov. Well, not too far away, but far away. Duma Play. Hello. Drago Dracula. Sorry, I'm going to put it on the screen every time someone mentions it now. The Year of the Dragon is coming. Hello from Greece, Nick V. How many people in Greece will be called Nick? Or Nico or Nikos? I wonder how many people. I wonder if that's like the John Smith of Greece. I'm sorry to every Greek out there. Mark Philippoussis, the tennis player. The Year of the Dragon is coming. That's probably what this is, I think. I should probably know this, and I think a few people are commenting in Russian as well. Long time no see. Dr. Kerr. Hello. Yeah, it's kind of a midweek live stream. Can I translate a chat if it's friendly? Absolutely. Yes. If it's something nice and friendly and you wish to type what somebody said, then yes, go for it. Greetings from Greece again. Oh, okay. I've read that already. -5 here in Donetsk. Jana. Is it Jana, I think? Ex-Anna, let's call it. Donetsk is further south from me. I wonder what the drive would be from Donetsk to Moscow region, or Narofminsk. Have to be maybe 10 hours, I'd say. I don't know. Speak subtitles for YouTube. Yeah, they don't do them on live streams. You can do Yandex browser and then do the translate where they've got the voiceover, or you can do the normal subtitles on YouTube. So I'm glad that you like Russian winter. Yes. Probably don't really. Okay, I don't mind like when it's cold like that. I wear my gloves today. You know, I've got my beanie on. I put my headphones in, and I can just listen to the radio. I normally listen to like AM talkback radio, and I can just walk, and it's no problems. Yesterday was a little bit harder because I got to take my glove off, put my glove on, take it off to film. I found a new way to keep my battery charged longer as well, which was handy yesterday too. In Russia, Sun, Coca-Cola, or Cool Cola. Yeah, that's that's Ochakova. Isn't that the other company? The Cool Cola is Ochakova Cola. I think that's right. Andy, hello from Canada. Love winter weather. Have worked outside all my life and always feel better in cold weather. Yeah, I mean, actually in Perth at the moment, where obviously my parents are from, where I'm from, it's a bit of a heat wave this week. And let me see if we can pull up. So that's -9 where we are here. It's a bit hard to see with the brightness. I don't know how that doesn't go down a little bit. And then, so where I'm from is called Baldivis. So it's 2:40 in the morning. And it's 24 degrees at 2:40 a.m. in the west coast of Australia. And if you can see those numbers, that's the rest of the week. Only Monday it'll cool down under 30 degrees. So kind of drastically different northern and southern hemisphere weather. Who's your favorite Russian actor? I don't watch any Russian TV. Someone asked me yesterday in the Telegram chat about Russian movies, and the only one I know, and I will never know the name of it, but it's about, they always have it at New Year on TV. It's about a man that gets drunk, and I think he's either in Moscow or St. Petersburg, and he's going between the two places, and he turns up at the wrong house and the wrong apartment and lets himself in and starts living there, and then the lady comes home, and I think they have like an affair or a bit of a romance, and it turns out he was completely in the wrong house, and it's a bit of a long-running, famous Russian movie that only plays on New Year. Hello from me. Sergey, hello. It's spring in Argentina, but sometimes it's summer. So yeah, whatever that movie is, Andy, that's always on at Christmas, New Year. Well, I'm a little bit behind on the chat. I should just chat faster, and you can chat, and you can type faster. Hello from Scotland. Corey, hello. What game you love? I used to like tennis. I used to play tennis, but not anymore. I watch a lot of sport on television, so yeah, it's any live sport I'll happily watch as well if I get a chance to go to it. When you're next to Moscow, my wife is a Russian. Very much your Telegram channel as well and YouTube. Thank you. Not Russian citizenship. That's kind of the stage after the next stage. So that will be kind of a long way away. I'm not sure yet if I'll end up doing that because I can hold both passports consecutively. Well, I would be able to have both passports, but if I've got the visa to live here, I don't need citizenship technically. I guess it's a bit of a tricky one. I was looking at the expression of the people waiting online right away. They moved so you could see the cafe. Yeah, so I kind of cut a little bit out of that out. The bit where I walked up to the sausage at the beginning, they were kind of I went and apologized after I stopped filming. And they were like, yeah, no worries, no worries. They realize what I'm doing. Quite a lot of them obviously understand some kind of English. And how the two people kind of came apart as I went right in there. And then I was really meant to keep showing you the other side with the pizzas and the cakes. And then I went and showed the shopping carts and trolleys. And then I deleted that part out because the video was getting very long. So it kind of cut off where I showed the burger and the price of the burger. Or it's more like a hamburger, literally hamburger. So yeah, I should really have showed that, but I didn't. And then I was really meant to show at the end, go to the cafeteria. But I met a few subscribers in the store, and the time got a little bit late by the time I'd finished filming. And when I went back to the cafeteria, they were packing up. So I'll have to do another video just showing those, like the 10 differences kind of video. Northern Germany, we have 4 Celsius. Some temperatures are in the normal refrigerator, which keeps stuff. Yeah, I call it Moscow fridge, the balcony outside here. Actually, it's still +6 on the balcony, and that's my temperature sense is inside the balcony. So that's a big difference. +6 inside, -9 outside. 27.9 is hot because both windows are closed. The little window here between the balcony and the outside is not open either. Normally we have it open just to get air through, but I closed it. Maybe a bit silly, but I'll open it after the stream finishes. Hit the thumbs up. Yeah, we got 97 of them. So thank you. And there's not as many people watching, but it's okay. I like summer more. Yes. I think I'm slowly becoming more of a winter person. The only thing I don't love about winter is the ice and the slippery ice, like particularly like today, just walking to the shops, which weren't that far away. So where it was just like a little bit dusty snow the last 2 days, it's kind of just started to melt. And then a little bit of water forms on the street. And then when it goes down minus like 6 and 10, it freezes. Then you get that ice skating kind of thin layer of ice on the road. It's just not nice to walk in if you don't notice it. Thanks for your content. I'm from Chile, living in Petersburg, making content in Spanish about Russia. Wow, nice. Here it's snowing. I met somebody so on Sunday I went to a dog show, which I'll have a video coming up, probably at least a week away or more. And the girl sitting next to me, just by chance, when we watched the end part, the best in show part, she was from Ecuador. which was I don't know if she lived in Moscow or not. I never really asked that. We were really watching the dog show. We were just doing little quick bits in between. Baikal's the best cola in Russia, or Baikal. Maybe that's Baikal, I think. Russell at Vdenha, there is a huge exhibition. Yes, I've already been once with my wife. We did a bit of a date night or date day where I took her there, and she didn't really love it because it was very busy. There was a lot of people. It was a bit because it was only the first couple of days after it opened. So, and it's on until April. So I will definitely go there and make videos, probably at least a couple of them, because it's a big event and it will be impossible to do in one shorter video. And I'll go back on my own and do it when she's not with me, so it's easier. I actually took her to see there's a scale model of Moscow in another small building away from the main street of Vdenha. Is it called the Model of Moscow? I'm not sure the name of it, but I took her to see that, and that was cool, and she liked that. Russell, how long have you been living in Russia? Originally, I came 9 years ago. The very, very first time I went, after I met my wife in Thailand on holiday, she invited me to come and visit Moscow. I was working at the time in America, so I couldn't stay immediately right off the bat, so I ended up going back to work, flying back to Moscow, going back to Australia, flying back to work a few times. So yeah, pretty much it would be more like 10 years now, I think, than 9. Hello from the Urals. Nice. Again, this is my YouTube live stream cough. What a Russian Christmas looks like. Yes, it won't really be until January, realistically. So for the next couple of weeks, well, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, we won't be doing any videos unless there's like crazy snow and it's crazy amazing. And because the problem is, like, for instance, Red Square, you'll see on that video coming up in a few days that all of the Christmas markets aren't built yet. They literally build them. They bring them in, they build them. They were building the whole skating rink that they've got in Red Square. That's not anywhere, or at least another week away from finishing. Maybe 2 weeks. So yeah, it's hard. It's nothing I can film right now, apart from what I did there in the GUM department store. You'll see Christmas soon, yes. Right, most people celebrate New Year in Russia, which is really not December to January 1st. It's December 6 and 7. And then there's a 10-day holiday period around that as well. The whole country is celebrating, yes. The Christmas traditions into New Year. Right, exactly. Yes, we don't. That's why I always get a little bit caught off guard. Oh, sorry. YouTube cough. Because I'm always saying Christmas decorations or Christmas this, Christmas that. And I really got to say holiday, because the Christmas that I know is December 24, 25. And then all the celebrations really in Russia is January. Okay, they do have the New Year's Eve, New Year's Day thing at midnight and 12 o'clock. And then the 6, 7 holidays more celebrated. So thank you for anyone's doing hearts and smiles and everything. Pretty long delay. Yeah, I'm just slow at chatting and answering. Celebrate Orthodox. Oh, now, yeah, there we go. 7th of January. Thank you. Of your videos, this is your hobby. I like this stuff. I like this stuff, although I don't like shopping. Yeah, I'm not really a shopper either, personally. I'll buy what I need to when I need to. And that's it. You know, I won't go window shopping, or I won't go to the mall except for a reason to go. Do I know Sergei Baklakov? I know of him. I don't know him personally. I know he's also from Ufa. And originally when I first came to Russia, well before YouTube and things like that I was doing, I watched his videos on YouTube, mostly about Ufa and him filming there. And then I know he still makes videos now. But he was pretty much the only person creating some kind of videos around Ufa at the time. So he doesn't know any actors or media personalities. Yes, I see lots of pictures of them, and there's quite a lot of recognizable faces. So, hey Russell, I've seen you been mentioned on TV. Yeah, this was it yesterday or the day before? Day before? Channel 1, first channel, yes. They showed me briefly walking in the Dixie store that I did a few videos ago, and they were talking about sanctions, and there was a whole story. Not sure who that first guy was. There was a bit where he's walking in Moscow City or New Moscow, but I don't know him, who he is as a YouTuber. So hello from Rio de Janeiro. Wow. And I noticed today, is it today or sometime, or yesterday, tomorrow, Brazil, Argentina. Maybe that's tonight. Maybe I'm going to miss the time of the match. At least the most popular conversation. Yes. I did manage to buy a holiday gift, Christmas gift today. I had to go and get a specific Christmas gift today. And the lady at the store and I almost had a conversation, and I was a bit in shock with myself because we managed to completely understand each other. Well, let's say 80% we did. How grocery stores in Russia or subway lines. Yes, metro videos are very popular, Rob. Very, very popular. Word recognition. It's Celsius in Australia. Sorry, that was all Celsius I was quoting. So anything 37 or 38 Celsius is 100 Fahrenheit. You double it. Is it double it and add 32? Is that correct? Celsius to Fahrenheit. Hello. Well, Oro. I think that's wrong. TW. Hello. Favorite Russian dish? I didn't really have Russian food yesterday. I had kinkale. Yeah, if anyone looked, I posted on my Telegram channel a photo of me having some soup and kinkale. Plof. I like my wife's plof, which I'm never always sure if they're always Russian dishes, even though we're in Russia eating them. Olivia salad or winter salad. My wife can make just a bowl of it, and I can just eat it with a spoon right out of the bowl. Very nice. This is about television. Australia's pretty European in times of analog TV. They had the Western European brand, PAL, yes. 625 by 50. I'm not sure about that part, but yeah, we definitely have PAL in Australia. Absolutely. Oh, thank you so much for the super sticker. What's the picture there? Is it? Oh, it's a mustache. I don't have a mustache. Oh, kind of. Thank you for the CHFs. Oh, and that's your name that I said so badly wrong at the very beginning of the chat as well. For CHFs. Thank you. Now I lose my place where the chat was. There we go. The rule is made in Russia. Ninja Tagal. Tali. Thank you again for the super sticker. That's very appreciated. I really do appreciate it. It basically links into YouTube, and the payment comes part of the YouTube and the AdSense and revenue and things like that. So thank you. That's really nice. I always appreciate. It's very similar to Coca-Cola, but it's sweet. Yes, which I approve. Or less sweet, which I approve. Yeah, it's not the same. It isn't the same. I would say the Dobra Orange is Fanta. I don't think there's much they can, gain or lose from the changeover of that. But the Coca-Cola that was in Russia is not in Russia. Everything about the production of Dobra is in the factory where Coca-Cola was produced. And then the entire production line and the whole lot. But the Dobra brand, who were making the Coca-Cola under license for Coca-Cola, is now producing Dobra Cola or Good Cola or Kind Cola. Dobra is like good. So, yeah, it's okay. I drink a lot of it. Well, I don't say a lot. I drink Baikal or Chernogolovka over Dobra all day long, because the Dobra Cola is not the Coca-Cola that you know, and it feels like you're drinking something else, Small trolley buses than Moscow. Small trolley buses lines than Moscow. The Wyatt bus was so typical, like double-decker bus in London, right? Yeah, they've got a few new ones that have come back. There's a route in Moscow that I need to go and take. It's called the museum route, where they've got some trolley buses. Actually, in where my wife is originally registered in Moscow region, in Vidno region, they do have some trolley buses there. And actually, they're the really old ones too. So it's quite a way to get over there to film a video, but just to go on them, it'd be kind of cool. I guess the USA are the only ones with Fahrenheit. Yeah, it's the same with like pounds and inches and feet and things like that. Thursday's Thanksgiving here. Does Russia or Australia have anything similar? No, we don't. Not like Thanksgiving. Yeah, not really. I guess you could count Anzac Day, which is really kind of similar to a Remembrance Day. I'm not sure about Russia with something like that, but yeah, black ice. Yes, I was trying to explain to my wife that yesterday about black ice, and it's hard to explain to her because she always wonders why I'm walking and I'm doing like a shuffle when I see some ice. And she's like, "What are you doing?" She's just walking normally. Pretty long delay. Sorry. Yes, that's probably why everyone left the chat. I think because I'm talking too slow. 7:46. Oh gosh, sorry, Rob. How are you? I'm very well, Peter. Thanks. Very well today. Thank you. Well, apart from this YouTube cough or live stream cough, it would be interesting to see differences. Kindergartens, I heard there's a lot of difference. I have got one video. Really, it was only a very small private school where I went to a private school on the other side of Moscow. I got invited by a friend, New Zealand friend, and there was also a British guy working there. But I didn't really show the kids in the video because it's not right to do that without really getting permission. So there is, if you put, like, I don't know how you'd put it into the Russian school, into the search. Sergey, am I a Catholic? I don't really go to church unless my wife goes. So not usual. In most cases, around 45 seconds, but in one stream we had up to a 20-minute delay. So I guess I should just skip over people's comments, shouldn't I? How's your YouTube income? It's okay. It's kind of tough because of the fact that there's no revenue from Russian viewers. That doesn't make my channel helpful. The fact that there is a lot of Russian viewers, or there is Russian viewers watching. Yeah, it could be better. But I have to just, what is it? You accept the cards you're dealt, is that the saying? Positive vibes from St. Petersburg. Thank you, Oleg. Thank you. Ciao de Roma. Stefano. Oh, Italiano. Ciao. Buonasera. The question is what do you mean with kindergartens, USA? Yeah, so kindergarten is basically like preschool. In Australia, we call it kindy. Or kindergartens, kindy. South Carolina, hand waving. Billy. I can't read Italian. Peccato non capisco. Sorry. Of the skating rink on Red Square will be on the 29th of November. Oh, there you go. So it is at least another, I was thinking at least a week or 2 weeks away. It will be available to everybody, Edward. Yeah, that would be about right. Just looking at where they were at yesterday. I'm pretty sure they do work roughly around the clock doing it as well. Forza Roma. Rice skating is not for you. St. Petersburg Life. Hello. Soda drinks are more expensive than beer. Yes. Sugar taxes. Yeah, that was something that I pointed out in the video that I went to do at the Dixie store. And actually, that was picked up by some of the local media and news in Moscow. And it was shown on some of the news stories and articles about me pointing that out. I should do that more in videos, really make an emphasis on a certain thing that I talk about. Streetcars and rails are making a comeback in London. What Russian channel would you choose for? Well, it's Russell, like Ruslan. So alcohol-free drinks has to be cheaper than alcoholic drinks, right? So that people don't drink more alcohol or less alcohol. Good day. Hello. Do I have any friends in the UK? I do. Yes. I have friends that live in Moscow and Moscow region and Vladimir. And then I've got some distant relatives in England that are up in Yorkshire, or West Yorkshire, actually. Do you have some sports training in Russia? No, I've never been to any sport. I've gone to watch sport. I've never done sports training. And I have a gym in my building downstairs that I could go to. And the guy keeps inviting me every time he sees my wife, because her salon is a couple of doors away. He's always wanting to get me down there. From Russia, Tumin, our good friend here in Aprelivka. Her family is all from Tumin. And I've been invited there as well a few times. She wants me to go and swim in the hot springs, which would be nice. Siberia. Plant tours coming up. No, because it's just nearly impossible to find the person who can get me on the tours. I do my best when I go to conventions to try to link up with people, but it's incredibly difficult to find the person that's doing that or the person that's PR and things like that. I'd even be happy to go to any kind of food factories. Maybe I can ask the guy that brought me to the bread factory. I can write italic. Thank you, Rob. From North Carolina by way of Boston. By the way of Northern Ireland originally, yeah. Isn't it true there's more Irish in Boston? Is that the one? There's more Irish in Boston than there is in Ireland. Is that the right line that I'm meant to be saying? Who you are, you're a ray of sunshine. Can you say hi to Fortunato? I know he is also watching your live now. Alenka, hello, здравствуйте. Здравствуйте, Fortunato. Hello, how you going? How's things? How's your day? This afternoon when I was going downstairs, I met a mother and two sons who I see quite often in the elevator or the corridor. And it was really nice. We stopped and had a chat for a minute or two. So yeah, how are you going? Fortunato. Almost sounds Italian more than a Russian name. Alternative services like Rumble, maybe you can get paid for Russian views. I'm not sure about how that works with Rumble. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't bother me. Well, that doesn't bother me. It does bother me because it's not fair to everybody in the world, particularly Russian content creators who have a very big Russian audience. So yeah, that's pretty much why I set up donation alerts, buy me a coffee. What's the other one? Now there's Boosty. There's another one. So it just allows also for Russians to use the donation options on the channel, because also if you're a Russian, you can't use super chats and super thanks and super dupers. So 30-second delay. There you go. It's getting better, Rob. And then the problem is when I get to the bottom of the chat, hopefully more people are typing things for me to then allow it to keep up. Do you find the British accent difficult to comprehend? No, because Australia is a English-speaking country, and I also correct my own Australian accent to make it easier for people here to understand. Because a lot of people say to me, "Oh, I find it very easy for me to understand you," but I'm generally correcting how I speak. I speak a little bit slower to other people as well, so that they understand and not just agree and nod their head. Winter within the country, like in the US, we go to Florida. People would go to Turkey, or they'd go to what's the other place? Sharm el Sheikh. Is that the Middle East? That's I was thinking, I don't know what the country is called. Sharm el Sheikh. Someone knows the name of that place? It's not Turkey. But people go to Turkey anyway. I know that's the nearest country, and also Turkish Airlines flies from the local airport here. But they go to other warmer countries nearby Russia where it's still seasonally warm. Egypt. Thank you. Yes, it's in Egypt. People go there because it's still warm, that you can swim in the ocean or go to a resort and swim in the pool. You should do a video about that. Yeah, I've been to games last winter. Yeah, it's really enjoyable day to go. I enjoy going to the hockey. I enjoy that more than going to football, even though I like football more as a sport. Hockey's very fast for me to watch, and I don't exactly understand that onside, offside kind of rules, and where they keep jumping over the fence to change offense and defense. I just find, I don't know how I guess the players know what they're doing. We are going to warm up in the Crimea. Well, I guess you're going to go further south. Go down to Crimea. Oh, it's still nice. This is the first time I've had Belarus Coca-Cola in the year and a half since Coca-Cola wasn't available. The Russian Coca-Cola. If I buy the can of Coca-Cola, I was going to get one at another shop in the food market I was at, and I was going to get the one from Afghanistan. And actually, that's a 300 ml can. This is 333. So in Australia, we've got 375 ml cans. They do have some of these smaller ones, but the 375 is normal. Blogging Trucker, hello. Someone said I'm behind in the chat. I think I'm at the bottom of the screen now. So unless people start typing something or asking questions or, I don't know, donation alert questions, anonymous questions there, it would be nice. You probably, a lot of Irish in Boston miss the Irish grocery stores in North Carolina. That'd be interesting. They've got, well, Irish stores or British stores. You mean ice hockey? Yeah, Egypt. Hockey is huge in Canada, yes. It is very big in, well, Canada probably more than in America in terms of the NHL and things like that. Because it's a winter sport, right? I mean, okay, you play it indoors in a stadium. It's probably cold. It's probably warmer to go to the ice hockey than it is the weather outside. The last game I went to, actually, the last one was at Dynamo Stadium. The last game I went to, I keep meaning to go and want to buy the fancier ticket to go in the nicer seats, but I end up just getting the ones up the back. It's perfectly fine. You can see everything. I don't think there's a huge difference with ice hockey because the stadiums are smaller than at the football stadiums. Yeah, Bella Cola. Well, this is real Coca-Cola. This is the real stuff, Peter. It just happens to be from Belarus. This is absolutely as real as it gets. Yeah, there is Bella Cola, which is considerably cheaper than this. It's probably half price, easily over the real Coca-Cola, well, from Belarus. But I don't like the Bella Cola. I've had it once. I'm a bit of a person. If I have it once and don't like it, I won't have it again. I just know not to buy it. Even if it's half price, it's just not enjoyable. Say tomato. Okay, Sergey, I'll say tomato. Oh, where's that chat? So you'll know if I'm from the US or not. Yeah, I think you mean tomato. And then there's potato and potato. So say the word tomato. There's a town called, about 20 miles south of Boston, nicknamed the Irish. Ooh, shoot. I think that's right. I had Russian in school, but remember only some words like bread, sausage, cheese, and butter. That's funny. You just know some of the food words. Which city is better, St. Peter or Moscow? Could you also compare them with the... I couldn't know. I've only spent a couple of days in St. Petersburg. I've not been there more than just for the night in a hotel twice. I was there for 12 hours. I got from the airport to the hotel. The next morning I got picked up, went in a bus to a place, did some filming, went for dinner, went back to the airport and flew back to Moscow. So I really can't compare the two physically, having not spent even more than a few days there. Comparing me with US cities, that would be very hard. I mean, because, how old Russia is as a country and how old some of the buildings are and the architecture of the buildings. You can kind of say some of the, well, I guess Boston's got a little bit more architectural buildings than maybe what New York has. That Nathaniel Hall area where there's some of the buildings. But it's really, Moscow is such a big city as well. Moscow, then Moscow region. It's just huge. I mean, you compare both these cities closer to more European cities. Of course, Europe is the next immediate area in the world. But yeah, I wouldn't say you could compare it with any US cities. Well, the ones that I've been to anyway. Riviera more Irish than Ireland. Tomato. There, yes, yeah. So I haven't been to the shopping center there. That's the one thing that I need to do is make a video. There's a shopping center underneath Dynamo Stadium, and every time I go to the match, the football, the ice hockey there, and I didn't know this until a few times that I've been. Everyone comes streaming out of the stadium, and you think naturally they'll all go to the metro to go home, and they all go into the food court in the shopping center after the games. And I hadn't twigged about this every time I went. I'm like, where are they all going? And I think, maybe they've got underground parking. And they go in the shopping center, probably to get something to eat or drink or whatever they want to do after the game. So yeah, no, it's very nice. Yeah, and then there's a bit where you can walk through where when you go to the ice hockey, there's a glass window there where you can see the stadium, and they've got the lighting on it and things like that. It's pretty cool. Why is it so complicated for English people to understand UK English for a non-native speaker? Yeah, I mean, I understand people. I mean, even when my wife was with me and I listened to someone else speaking, she doesn't understand because she just can't pick it up. And yeah, it's not a problem for me. What's the traditional Christmas dish in Australia? Well, it depends on what traditions you're following. If it's going to be warm temperatures like this, you'd have a barbecue. Some people would still do a turkey and do the trimmings, the traditional sit-down roast dinner, but it's usually just too hot to cook in the kitchen. So a lot of people have a barbecue outside. Okay, you can do the traditional prawns and shrimps and things like that, but just a normal barbecue, sausages, meat. Maybe, I know my brother-in-law does a lot of skewers, so like shashlik style, but on the wooden skewers. So he'll do like chicken skewers or pork or beef skewers. And then salads on the table, lots of nibbles and kind of a bit of a buffet style. So everyone gets a plate, go and grab what you want. It depends on whose house you go to. Maybe you might go for Christmas Day, or the day after Christmas is Boxing Day. And they may do a slightly different sort of dinner setup. The typical Russian food, especially like solyanka, pilmeni, yes, absolutely. Can eat pilmeni any day of the week. Dosarak. Had a dosarak yesterday. I just felt like one. We've always got a few in the cupboard. It's like the emergency food when you really can't decide what you want or you don't know what you feel like. You just boil some water, have a dosarak, which is basically instant noodles. Solyanka is the soup, or okroshka. Is that the other one? Okroshka? Solyanka? The soups. I don't really like any of those. Vobla, I'm not sure what that is. My wife's not here to ask either. So, Tuki, hello. How are you? Thanks everybody for sticking around if you're watching the live stream. I appreciate it. Thanks for the thumbs ups or thumbs up. Depends on how many. I think you're going to do one a person. So thank you so much. Thanks for going in the poll. 218 comments. Actually, 41% like watching live streams or watching Russell. So thank you. And then if you haven't seen the video yesterday, which is about Globus Supermarket, it's got a lot of views. It's ranking 2 out of 10 of my recent videos. And the only one that's beating it is the burger restaurant video, because I was the first in Russia to have a video on a channel about that. So it's gone a little bit. It's got 200,000 plus views now. So it'll be tough to get another 1 out of 10 video. Mr. Beast talks about that a lot, about how he'll never get another 1 out of 10 video on his channel because the top videos are just so outperforming everything else that it's okay to have a bad performing video and still get a lot of views. Boston is the most European city in the US. Yes, that's probably very true. It's definitely different from New York in terms of the feel of the city and even some of the streets with the houses and things like that. Never tried pelmeni, but heard about it with brown butter. Yeah, or you do it with some sour cream. You just put some ketchup in it. You can do whatever you like with pelmeni, really. Basically, it's little pastry packets with some sort of meat inside. We can get even sometimes with potato in there and cheese and different things. I almost guarantee I can pull a bag out of the freezer behind me if I had to now. I do definitely like pelmeni, yes. It's an easy thing for my wife to cook for me too, because she knows I like it when she can't figure out what to cook. Definitely enjoying the Coke. I know it's not right to do it on stream and drink it in front of you. I'm sorry, but it was only appropriate that I bought it today, that I drink it today. Barbecue is my favorite English word. We also grilled herrings or mushrooms filled with mushrooms with minced pork. I've never had that, but I like mushrooms, barbecued mushrooms, or skewered mushrooms, like on shashlik or mangal. grilled herring. I know my wife likes salmon or fish when we do a barbecue at someone else's house. In Australia, we call it a barbie, by the way, like as in Barbie, the character. As you say the word, but it's got nothing to do with that. But the short word for barbecue is Barbie. So, yes, English speakers speak very fast. When I'm speaking to Africans, they always tell me to slow down. That's very true. And I know that if I'm doing it right, I'm speaking slow enough, people will comment that they understand me, that I'm speaking slow enough. So, Mr. Sanders, thank you for the thumbs ups. Thank you so much. I love solyanka. Yeah, I'm not a fan. My wife already knows a lot of things that I've had once and don't like it. When we go to people's house or we get invited over to somewhere, I'm polite and I'll eat things that I don't like. Just to be polite, my wife's always got a funny look on her face. Why are you eating these things when you don't at home? But it's just polite to do that, and not, disrespect your friends or family or whoever they are that are cooking, So, hello from the UK. What a beautiful country is Russia. Shops are so amazing and such is everything. I love it. Thank you. Thank you, KS. That's so nice of you. Thank you for watching videos on the channel. Mullet talking very fast sometimes. Sorry, I'm late. Well, it's kind of halfway through. So if we go a little bit longer, David, let's see. I've caught up to the chat because people said I was behind on the chat. I always end up catching up and then the chat slows down when I catch up to it then. Hello, everyone, for watching. Yes, David is a very active person in the Traveling with Russell Telegram chat. So there is a channel where I post, and then there's a chat, which is a separate group from the channel. There's over 500 people there, always more than 100 people during the daytime that are active in it as well. What's your favorite pizza place in Moscow? Yeah, I've got asked this a few times. My wife and I, we like Dodo pizza. Excuse me. The problem we've got is when we look out the window in the next building over, I think David will have seen this picture. There's a 24-hour pizza place. I think it's called Pizza Express. The pizza is nice. It's not great. Dodo Pizza wins out every day of the week. The problem is Dodo Pizza is a bit of if we don't get it delivered, you can still walk there and do pickups and takeaways from there. It's about a 15-minute walk, whereas the other place is 5 minutes away. I don't think they do delivery, that place. I'm sure they don't. And there's actually a little sit-down cafeteria in there with the kind of the American-looking diner booths in there as well. And there's always people in there, and it's 24 hours open. I don't know about late at night, but when I've come back from the bus stop from Moscow, you walk past it, and it's always tempting just to go in and get a slice or two. But yeah, the Dodo Pizza. I've done the video there at Domino's Pizza. Oh no, it's now called Domino Pizza. That's the only time we've ever had it. There isn't a Domino's in our region here to deliver to us to buy and have it delivered. So I went there once. It's actually at the shopping center, which is Avia Park, but it's a standalone Domino Pizza now. They just took the S off the word. And there's really no change to the inside of the place. And even the menu hasn't changed. They said they will change it, but normally when they do these changes, they takes a bit of time to kind of catch up to that. So yeah, if anyone wants to order me for delivery, I'll tell you the address. Can you get free medical care in Russia even though you were not born there? I believe I can be helped at a hospital. I have only been once to have medical care on my knee, which hurt far more than I thought. Otherwise, I can go to private clinics, and it's really not expensive in terms of medical care if I need to. I'm really, barring this little cold or flu that's kind of gone now, but the live stream cough is sticking around. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure if I can get full-time medical care. I guess as a Russian resident and visa holder, I probably can, but I don't want to quote something incorrectly. For the top of the Christmas tree in Australia, not really, no. We just put the normal angel up there. It's not really an Australian traditions around doing that. I guess the ornaments might be slightly different, but still all the same stuff like you'd buy at Ashan or Globus or any store, all the really Chinese-made stuff. Greetings from Las Vegas, GM. How was the Formula One? Were you involved in any part of that? I watched quite a bit of that on TV. I also watched a YouTuber called Kim Illman, who's a photographer that follows all the races, and he's made some nice videos talking about the lead up to it and then the event and things like that. And there's a lot of negative things about it on YouTube as well, because obviously if you're involved or live near it or work near it, a lot of disruptions. So I've been to Vegas a couple of times. I've seen Celine Dion in concert there. I saw Car by Cirque du Soleil. I saw David Copperfield. I saw Barry Manilow in concert there. Yeah, I could go back to Las Vegas just for the place. I know it's a normal American city outside of the Strip and things like that. I'd love to go and stay there at someone's house and like have that little bit of a normal holiday beyond that, staying in the hotels on the main drag of the Strip. I stayed at which one did I stay at? What's the green one? It was across from the one with the roller coasters and the things like that. I don't remember. Now it was quite a few years ago, but very cool place to go to. I went twice to Las Vegas, once for a fairly long stay and then once just for the night. I did one of those cheap packages from LA. So you fly to Vegas, you stay a night in the hotel, you go see a show, and you fly back the next morning, and that's it. One day, they do like a package from LA that you can do for really cheap, and you get your ticket to the. That was when I saw Barry Manilow. I was actually 3 days in LA, and I'm like, well, I can do this for the day and come back, and it won't even look like I've left. Moromania. It's a great place. And I don't know this place. No, I'd have to look it up to know if I know this place. We generally just go to sushi places more than seafood places. My wife likes sushi. Actually, the place we had dinner at the shopping center last night I think it was a Georgian place, because the guy was trying to get me to have the bread with the egg and the cheese inside. Oh my gosh, I've forgotten all the words. And he was trying to talk me into something else with more cheese, which I'm not a huge cheese fan. I have two questions. One, to be in a video, and also, how do you... my wife doesn't want to be in videos, no matter how many times I beg and plead and ask her. I would love her to be on a live stream. She definitely refused the one for tonight because it was late and she's already sleeping. I'd like it to be in more videos, even if it's just while I'm walking and she's off in the side of the background and stuff. I don't really have hate on my channel. I have sometimes bad comments that I just delete, and I don't take them to heart. And I already have quite a lot of words set up that basically pull the comments into the for review section. So if anybody does any kind of certain word, mostly it's just swear words and things like that, and certain controversial words that people will type. A lot of people type things with wrong spellings to avoid that. They already know. So yeah, I don't really have haters as the word. I don't like the word hate either. I like to say the word heavily dislike. So if you just put, how do you deal with heavily dislikers of your channel? I don't let it worry me. It's easier. It's not nice that people do that. It's mostly keyboard warriors. It's people who have just got, I don't know, a chip on their shoulder, who want to try to engage in more conversation about something that they've typed. So I just delete the comment. I don't necessarily block or ban people. Most of the time, people ask why their comments aren't showing, oh, you've blocked me or banned me, but normally they're in the held for review section. So they can type a comment, but it won't come up because it's held for review. And I don't necessarily review them every 5 minutes, because there's more than enough normal comments that I can be happily dealing with. Yeah, that's probably the best answer I can give you, if that's a nice answer about it. I'm a little bit more easier going about things. I don't let things really bother and worry me past 30 seconds of reading it. because if it's in your head like that, they've got in your head and they've won, if you like. I don't like Domino's pizza in the UK. Taste is not good. Well, the one I had when I did the video, it was really nice. But I guess if you go there and you're hungry and you want to have lunch and you sit down and you actually just, it was like a little, you get a drink. What was it, like a pizza, mini pizza drink? And he accidentally gave me way too many fries and wedges and some dipping sauce. And it was completely good. You know, I didn't get a whole pizza and, you know, to get 7 different ones and have one slice and review it. It was just, I was really reviewing the whole idea and the concept of it reopening. So, in Australia, where we were living in Perth, where we were living, the Domino's we ordered were quite nice. We preferred another place, which was a family-run place, but it was a bit further away to get it delivered or pick it up. Domino's was down the street, so I'd still order on the app and then pick it up for cheaper price, then deliver it to me because it was only a few minutes in the car. And you didn't even have to get out your car. You just pull in. They know you parked in the spot and they know your license. And they bring the pizza to your car door or window and you just drive home. F1 was a disappointment. Yeah, I guess it depends on what interaction with that. I think the prices were like crazy high, then they came down, they said. Hotel prices were crazy high, they came down. Yeah, it's a lot of effort for a few days of running of it. And I guess if you have nothing to do with it, then it is what it is, right? And how it affects your job or your business or someone else's business can be quite good or bad in a way for, you know, running something. Do you like golf? There was a great golf course in Novogorod. I can't play golf. I like watching golf. I just can't play golf. I've tried swinging a club and I'm useless. I need a lot of practice. Yeah, I enjoy watching it on TV. There's Live Golf, which is a big deal when it's on. You know, it's such a different concept to normal, you know, 4-round PGA events. New York, New York. Yeah, I stayed across the I stayed across the road from New York, New York. I went to New York, New York. It's a lot of New Yorks, to go to the Julian Pianos in the evening, and that was very cool. The 2 guys there were just brilliant. I mean, I know you're just there for a night or 2 and you experience what you see, but they just made the whole thing, and you know, and it's all about experiences. And we talked about that a lot working on the cruise ships. That although we live here, we live on the ship, we're here every day. The person that's coming on for a short cruise is coming for a few days. They may come from somewhere completely different from the experience of living or cruising on a cruise ship. And, you know, to try to get people to enjoy it and embrace it and, you know, really walk away wanting to go on another cruise or remembering you or remembering the whole cruise line and cruise ship that you were on. You're welcome to stay. Thank you for the invite, GM. You're welcome to stay at my house. That'll be really nice. As long as you've got a spare bed or a sofa, nothing special. It's all good. Love your videos about different tastes of potato chips in Russia. Thank you. You should do a taste study. Yeah, there was this. When I went to that 100 by Miratok place, there was a couple of other YouTubers there, and one is actually called the fast food blogger, fast food blogger. I think that's his channel on YouTube, but he goes by his real name. One was Nikita, and I forgot the second guy's name. He really had a Russian name, and I've forgotten it. There's another guy there as well, and that's all he does. Is just fast food reviews. He has an entire channel dedicated to it. Have you ever seen the nuclear explosions near the Vegas Strip? Oh, okay. Okay. No, that's probably not for me then to read. I don't know. Greetings from Murmansk. Nelly, long time no see. You've got the cog next to your name there. We really don't have too much problems, I don't think. Maybe some of the Russian chat I can't read anyway. So I don't touch my chat on live streams because I'm not looking at that screen. I've got one screen where there's the scrolling of the chat from YouTube. Sorry, I know it's a bit farther to point. And then I'm actually looking at the chat as it's coming up here so I can pop it up on the screen. So I don't really look of what's coming up before it's coming up. Yes, I stayed at the MGM Grand. That's where I stayed. I think that's got didn't it have 8,000 rooms? It was just crazy how big it is. And it's just mind blowing in your head. Even when you come off a cruise ship, that's got 4,000 or 5,000 guests. And then one hotel has 8,000 rooms, and that's just one on the whole strip or road, on your live stream too, if they do dislike something. But my main question is, why did you choose to be in Russia? Or did you just end up there somehow, or perhaps an inspiration no, because of my wife, meeting my wife before we got married, and the whole thing basically just panned out from there. I ended up coming to live here between working on the ships, and ships ended. We did try to go live in Australia because my wife has a residency for Australia, and we tried to make a go of it, and my wife just didn't fall in love with it at the time. She really needs to have 2 or 3 years there to, just change your mindset. And it just didn't work out the time that we tried. So I can easily live here, and I could live anywhere. I mean, I could literally get on a plane, go to Vegas, somehow fit in, and, or wherever in the world, David in Rome there. So it'd be easy for me versus maybe somebody else who can't adjust as quickly. I think that's just come from cruise ships, and going to different ports every week, getting off and getting almost to the point you're like, oh, we're in Bermuda again. Oh, we're in St. Thomas, Virgin Islands again. But it just becomes a thing and a part of working on ships. So I don't read the live stream and delete stuff as quick as I read it. So because I could do that, and I could put them side by side. But I just like doing the live stream through this program because it can put the chat up on the screen. The only thing I can't put the donation alerts up on the screen, which I can actually do, but because no one's sending them, it doesn't come up there quick enough. So I wish you had Detroit pizza, very thick and delicious. That would be nice. I mean, the pizzas, if you go to all the different cafes that have a bit of a mixed menu, the pizzas are really all the same here. There isn't standout pizza place. I mean, I'm sure there is, because there's a lot of places with pizza in Moscow. But of the 2 choices we have, I guess we've only got one restaurant in Aprelivka, which is at the train station shopping center. It's called Beer and Fire Grill. They have pizza there, but it's a little bit more homemade style there, actually, which is I enjoy more because of the homemade crust. But Dodo is just that deep pan, nice meat lovers pizza that I like. You should probably know that I am a fan, but just wondering how you got any pets, and also what is your favorite Russian food? I don't have any pets. We do want to get a cat. Probably in January that might pan out. We'll see how it goes once we get past, in January, let's call it. There's a bit of a few weeks now where there's a bit of a lull in things going on, if that makes sense. Favorite food? Yeah, I've talked about this a few times. Pilmene, Olivia salad. I like still normal foods as well. So buying a piece of beef and a steak and doing that on the frying pan in the kitchen. I like shashliks when we do that in summer or spring or autumn time, mostly at friends' houses. We can't do it in the apartment we live in here. And I think any Australian likes barbecues, right? I think there's nobody that doesn't. Very low attendance expected. Yeah, it was very hard to see people in the crowds because of the way it was nighttime and then lit. You couldn't see that many people. I'm sure there was people there, but whereas any other race event, you can see the crowds. They've got the helicopters going over on the whole lot. So I guess they look at it from a more of a corporate perspective than a normal everyday person perspective. You said MGM Grand Green Glass Building, yes. And Russian Homestead girl, yes, she can speak Russian. She's living in Novosibirsk. Yes, I've actually met her and their family. They were in Moscow back in summertime. We met up in actually right by Red Square, and we walked around that area just for a bit of a walk, and they hadn't seen that before. They'd actually come to St. Petersburg for an event, and they came to Moscow, then they went back home. So yeah, really nice family to chat to. And also they're from regional Western Australia, so not necessarily Perth where I'm from, but about 4 or 5 hours, well, about at least 5 hours south of Perth by car in a rural area. So 11:29. Great, Russell. Oh, the timing. Oh, thank you. Oh, well, no, it's 10:36. The live stream's 125. Sorry, I don't know what that means. 6,500 rooms. Yes, that's just, it blows your mind, Jem, when you think about that. You know, I mean, I know if you live there and you see it every day, or you see the view of things, but it's just staggering. I mean, the amount of employment that's needed to make these places work as well. Wow, that's crazy. It burned down in the 70s, hundreds. Wow. Always well. Thank you, David. Always welcome. Yes. Do you remember what Trump said to Kevin in Home Alone? No, I don't. My wife likes watching Home Alone, by the way, especially Christmas, New Year time. They put it on TV a lot here, and she likes watching that. Don't show in default all comments. Well, I guess you've got, make sure that if you've got, there's an option there, you've got top chat and live chat. Make sure you've got it on live chat and not top chat. I don't know what that difference is, but just see if you've, even if you're on your phone, you can be able to change that option, top chat and live chat. But I don't touch any part of that when it's running now. I don't know. I assume, well, there'll be nowhere to see held comments if there was any. So CC would help out a lot. Has MGM Hotel to do with the film studio? I'm not sure. Maybe it does. Must do, because it's the same lettering, right? It'd have to be a big brand collaboration, if not. A little bit boring, what don't you think? No. Really, there's not as many Western brands that left as it looks like. I mean, you see that in the Global supermarket video. I mean, there is still a lot of other brands. This is the thing in Russia, you know, Moscow, 15, 17 million people. I mean, 100 million plus for the whole country. I mean, there's a lot of food needed to feed everybody. So there's a lot of opportunity for every company to find a market. I mean, and again, like the Rynek, or the food market, which is about 10 minutes walk from here. I mean, I can buy everything in there, especially fresh foods that you could completely live off without going to a supermarket. Maybe you'd still need to go to like the Pitorichka, which I've shown in a lot of videos. Okay, the Magnit, Veni. Downstairs is Fasol. Then there's another Pitorichka. Then there's Dixie. Then there's Miratok. And then there's, what's the green shop called? Kuzville. So there's so many choices before I even go to Globus. I have to really go there to go shopping, whereas I can do everything right here. And, you know, not necessarily things are cheaper there, because things are just on special. So, you know, I can buy, I don't have anything on my desk here to show you, but actually the British version of this is 109 rubles. This one was 85 today. And then if I buy the Afghanistan one, it's 80 rubles. If I bought it at the Food City, which is the huge Rynek, which is, you know, not easy just to go and grab it, but it'd be 50 rubles. So, you know, that was actually cheaper at a local shop than it was at a major supermarket or hypermarket chain to compare it item for item. So I wish that they had a chain with Philly cheesesteak. Oh, yes. Do you like? I've had them, yes. I've definitely had Philly cheesesteak sandwiches. Yeah, they're kind of, you know, like the big crusty bread and then the diced and chopped. Actually, if they kind of put shawarma meat's not the same, but if they put shawarma meat into a open sandwich, and then if they toast it in an open sandwich, you could have it similar to a Philly. Oh, you need the cheese as well, right? You need the whole thing. Well, you could, if you got someone who knew how to do it, it would work in Moscow, definitely. The brand who left Russia harmed Russia the least. Right. Because, and then also a lot of the brands have got agreements to continue trading in some way, just either offline or online. Even yesterday I saw a press release about Pandora is now called Pan Club, and they've remodeled one of the Pandora stores and made it even nicer than it was under Pandora. So, and it's called Pan Club. So I don't know what to say. It's just, that's why in my videos I'm always smiling and happy, and some people don't like that I need to be more, straight faced and sad when I'm talking about things, but I want to show it and talk about. I mean, when we walked in the shopping center yesterday, 2 days ago, where was it yesterday? I go to Solaris, which is the one with Globus, a lot. So, and then I just showed my wife there about just her Mother Care, which was the British children's clothing store. It's now, I think, Turkish, but it's now called Mother Bear, and it's the exact same shop. Just one sign's removed and another sign is there. Just wondering, would you like to learn Russian? If you can't speak Russian, does it affect your everyday life in Russia? Does your wife help you out since she's from Russia? Yes. Like today, we needed to make a phone call to somebody. I actually spoke to the lady in English, and then my wife called to speak to somebody else in Russian to try to help what we needed to do, and we still didn't solve it, even though she talked to the guy in Russian. So yeah, things like that, she'll just make a phone call, or if we need to go somewhere, she'll be the person that helps out with things. Like today, going shopping and doing what I need to do, I could do it all on my own, not with the language. So yeah, it's 8,000 people work at the MGM and 6,000 rooms. That's probably where I got the number wrong way around. Famous actor, actress? Don't really have favorite ones. I mean, most of what I know from Australia, I worked on cruise ships a lot of years before then coming to Russia, so wasn't really at home every day of the week. Longest I was at home was during COVID, so don't really have favorite actor, actresses. I'm sorry. Unless you know someone and I can tell you if I like them or not. Cinema Fires, because they delivered films. Wow. That's crazy. Thank you, Rob. About MGM. Nicole Kidman, yes. Well, she lives in, what's the famous country music town? Nashville. She lives in Nashville, doesn't she, with Keith Urban. She's beautiful too, though. That red hair, my gosh. Yes, she's very beautiful at the same time. And she's a very good ambassador for Australia also, in terms of what she's done in movies, Days of Thunder with Tom Cruise at the time. Without US food, it's mostly salt and sugar, right? I mean, look, generally, someone actually mentioned today in the Telegram as well. I think it was it was a comment on the Globus video about, Russians don't eat fast food. We know better not to eat it. But I posted the link to a video where I did a tour of a food court in a shopping center. It was a single video just about the food court because I had 100 food outlets in there. And I posted that link. I said, go and watch that video. People do eat fast food. Not everybody. My wife is a person that doesn't like fast food. She'd rather go to like the Georgian restaurant yesterday than go to a burger place or a pizza place because she just wants normal homemade food. So some food back. Wow. I learned so much from YouTube. Do you feel homesick for Australia? No, not at all. Just miss little things. Parents, family, home cooked food, things like that. Trying to get my wife to learn my mum's family recipes, and my wife wants to completely change the family recipes from the way that you cook it is the way that you cook it, right? Yes. I wanted to visit the city Romanovsko. This is a suburb of Moscow. Ramenskoy. Maybe it's somewhere in Moscow region. Maybe there's a metro station there. Southwest. Oh, Sarah West. I don't know who Sarah West is. I'm just thinking Connor West is the guy from Terminator. I'm not sure who Sarah West is, though. Let's support Russell. Everybody click like. Oh, thank you. Bingo bongo. It's important to promote the video. He's showing Russia as in the world and doing the right thing. Thank you so much. We got 175 likes. And we've got a fairly steady amount of people watching. I've got my donation alerts bar open, but it's either broken or it's not working or people aren't using it. I just want to know why. Because it's 10 days and 18. So I did a stream on 18 days ago, 23 days ago, 52 days ago. I had a big gap. That was when I was sick. That's why that is big gap there. And then 10 days ago. So yeah, Russell Crowe, yes. He's a very well-known, he's from New Zealand though. Russell Crowe. He's Australian. We take him as Australian. And he has a huge farm on the east coast of Australia. And he supports the whole town there. He puts a lot of money into the local school, like primary school, the kids' school. Yeah, he's very, very giving, especially the community where he lives. I mean, not necessarily the greater of Australia, but because he chooses to live in a very rural, remote area. He likes to be very anonymous, you know, and he just wants to fit in with the town where he lives and not cause a scene in the town because it's a farming area. Oh, Steve Irwin. Yes, the guy from Gladiator. That was Russell Crowe, wasn't it? Yeah. Steve Irwin, yes. The crocodile hunter. Yeah, I've never saw him in person. He's got the Australia Zoo over in Queensland on the other side of the country from Perth. Because the summer is one step away from crucial and unusual punishment. It feels like minus 59 in Rio. Yeah. It feels like 59C in Rio. Yeah, the summer, the hot summer and the, yeah, it'd be very big differences. Yeah, Russell Crowe is from New Zealand. Yes. Bingo bongo. Thank you for all that you do. Why do you think people in other countries think we are a backward country? Thank you for the donation alerts. It's working. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's amazing. Why do you think people in other countries think we're backwards? I think a lot of people still remember Russia as the Soviet Union. And then the fall of the Soviet Union. And people don't maybe realize so the Second World War or the Great Patriotic War, you know, the sacrifices a lot of people made with that. And then essentially for a lot of years, the self-sufficiency of Russia, and people in other countries, you know, take the reliance on places like China for everything. You know, even Australia as well. We don't have as much domestic manufacturing and we import things. You know, there is, you know, still food that's produced and cattle and farming and things like that, and domestic product, you know, but otherwise we still import things. Whereas Russia is very self-sufficient. And even at the moment, I think it's even food producing positive. And, you know, the country, especially in the last, you know, a lot of years when a lot of sanctions were on in 2014, you know, Russia became self-sufficient to a point. You know what I mean? There's certain things that Russia still doesn't have, but it can support itself. The people could live. Everybody, you know, could live. And even now, you know what I mean? You know, somebody will still question, you know, in my Telegram today. So tomorrow I need to fly somewhere. Right. So thank you, Bingo Bongo. I hope, I mean, a lot of people really think of Russia, I mean, as the Soviet Union, the space race, you know, and then when you go to places like museums and see, you know, even the military museums like Patriot Park or Park Pobeda, Victory Park, and see, you know, the Russian, you know, the production of Russian equipment, or, you know, things like, okay, originally the Moscowitz and the Kamaz trucks, things like that, and all, you know, everything from across all of the industries in Russia, produced in Russia. Whereas in Australia, I can't say that. It's and we don't say it like now at the moment. There's that. Oh, now that all the companies left Russia, India's going to step in, China's going to step in, all these other countries will step into that gap. And in terms of regular living, like supermarkets, what I show a lot, it hasn't needed that because almost everything is produced in Russia. I mean, Globus is a little bit of an example of a German company operating in Russia, where there is an element of imported goods in the store, but not a lot. There is a little bit of imported goods, but otherwise, the vast majority of the supermarket is Russian produced. Even if it's a Western brand, it's produced in Russia in a Russian factory with Russian ingredients to make the food, for instance. Even McDonald's, there was virtually nothing in McDonald's that was imported to produce McDonald's as of the food. So all of the ingredients were sourced in Russia. I mean, maybe the potatoes might have come maybe from Belarus, but that was the Soviet Union at the point that it changed and isn't. I mean, I don't want to misexplain things, but the meat that was served in McDonald's is Russian meat. It wasn't imported and sold as a McDonald's in Russia with American burger patties. And that's how Kuznetochka was so easily able to change or, take the sign down, put another sign up and reopen, because they didn't essentially change anything they were doing apart from the menu changes, but all the same suppliers just continue to supply the same place. I know that's a long answer. I don't know if it's how you want me to explain it. I mean, that's just my point of view from what I see. I'm not involved in any industry where I go to work and I'm affected by something in a positive or negative way. So, I mean, I guess I can complain about the fact that Rode Australian microphones are very difficult to get now. If I wanted to get one of these, and this is an Australian company that produced these, but you can still get them. It's just harder. Most food in the US has got GMOs. Yes. Oh, thank you, Peter. I'm not sure. You think the rest of the world is misrepresenting Russia? Yeah, I mean, look, that's it's working on cruise ships is a good example of this. Thank you again, Bingo Bongo. By the way, thanks to you, we learn English well. Your videos are like English lessons, great pronunciation and very clear. Thank you again for donation alerts. And I'm more happy that it works. So I thought I'd given up on it, but it's working. So it's working on cruise ships. Okay, you posted that. Actually, I'm reading your comment there and over there. So sorry, I'm reading from two, but it's okay. Working on cruise ships. This was very famous, and it is to this day, and it was in the history of cruise ships. On the ship I got off, like Carnival Horizon, last ship was Carnival Dream. There was 52 countries of employees working on the ship. 1,450 crew was on Carnival Horizon. 4,700, 4,800 guests, and from 52 countries. And they always say it's like a mini United Nations on a cruise ship. And there's no creed, no pride, no prejudice, no color, no matter whatever you want to call it. Everybody works in peace and harmony. I'm actually taking a little bit of what the cruise director says, because he'd say it every week. And they have a bit at the end of the cruise where they bring crew members up on stage from all the countries, and everybody claps, and there's an audience there and everything. And anytime I go and do it, you get a tiny bit emotional, because when you think about the world and everyone from all these countries, it's that United Nations that works. And unfortunately, the strange thing is the only thing most people know about other countries is that one iconic thing about the history of that country. I mean, for me, I take it all as sporting wise. So, that's the way I make fun of it. When I was in GUM yesterday, there were some Indian guys walking through, and I knew they were Indian, and I kind of went right in front of them. And I'm like, oh, sorry, guys, world cricket champions. If you want to walk past me, you have to bow first. And they spoke English. They understood completely what I'm talking about. And my only knowledge of India is cricket and Indian food, and that's about it. And we'd make fun of each other working on the ship, Indians and Australians, because of sporting achievements. And Australia won the World Cup cricket a couple of days ago, and we beat India, and 1 billion people in India are upset. And it goes for all the countries. So where people are from other countries, we know Russia as a great nation in sport, in the Olympics. And, in your head, kids 4 years old are training for the Olympics in gymnastics and in all the different sports in the Olympics. And that's all you think of. How can Russia, and it's just, in terms of the cruise ship employees, someone's from another country and you know one thing about it, and you can just tear them apart, and they can do the same for me. If Australia loses at a sporting event, it's my problem. It's my responsibility as an Australian to be the ambassador of the country because we won or lost something. Or if we had a bushfire that was quite big news on the CNN and American television. People would come and see me in the shop where I worked. I'm like, I hope your family's okay. I hope it's okay. I'm like, the bushfire happened 3,000 kilometers away. And, but because it happened in Australia, people worry about the whole country. I'm sorry it's a long answer and a long story, but cruise ships are a good example of that, misrepresentation of other countries until you go there and you kind of see it and live it and breathe it. So, and all until you have, even my wife's the same like that. She hasn't been to a lot of countries because of needing visas. And when I tell her I've been to Vegas and I saw Celine Dion in concert, third row in the middle, when she sung, she spit on me. I make that joke. And I got a chance to do that. But cruise ships gave me that opportunity, because of the fact that I was in different places at different times. And, when you meet American guests on the cruise ship, they're obviously from 50 states and territories. And again, it becomes a bit of what you know about that place is all you know. And that's it, and it's sort of good and bad at the same time, but it can be an icebreaker when you meet people as well. So, people, even when I say I'm from a Prelivka, people don't know where it is. And you talk about there was a factory here that produced vinyl records. And in Russian history, it was the factory that produced vinyl records for Russia or for some export as well. And they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I know that. But if someone tells me a place in Russia that I've never been to, I have no idea. So, yeah. Anna, greetings from Germany. Thank you. Hope you're having a nice day, or you did have a nice day. It's almost winding down. Bingo Bongo Ape, thank you again. I'll thank you for the donation alerts. I like it when they come and it's a question, because I'm more than happy to give you a longer answer. And how you interpret it is up to you then. From Moldova, much respect to you. Thank you. Vitali, thank you so much. I live in Destiana Street in Mosocw. There's a beautiful lake called Hydra. Very, very beautiful. And there is a forest nearby. Thank you. I know there's a few different quarries where there's a water filled in quarries. I'm not sure what areas they were. I saw some videos of them during the summertime. People go swimming in the quarries. My biggest thing is I don't have a car, so I've got to get somewhere by public transport. So I normally map it out the night before or before I leave in the morning and figure out how to get there and get home. Big difference. I guess New Zealand's smaller. It's a lot more mountainous, a lot more greener, a lot more, well, you wouldn't say rural because there's cities and towns and things like that. Probably Australia's a bit more spacious. But Sydney, Melbourne got bigger populations. I guess it just feels busier in the bigger populated areas on the east coast of Australia. Definitely the Maori way of living, which is New Zealand, and then also people that are from the Pacific Islands. got a bit of a slightly different lifestyle than, let's call it, the Aboriginals or the native Australians, if you were to compare, these sort of two different things. But I think sporting-wise, political-wise, the parliament and how their government runs is very, very similar. The banking system and all these sort of things are quite on par with each other. Megan Gale is from Australia. Yes, another beautiful actress. She's also from Perth, which is the city where I'm from. Yes, Megan Gale. Oh, gosh. Jess Spencer is an awesome actress. I don't know who Jess Spencer is. Sorry, Samuel. I should know every Australian, right? If you're making so much money now that your channel has blew up, why do you still living in this apartment? Why not buy a house? It's I wouldn't say all of that is true. So we like living in an apartment. We'd like to live, obviously, in a bigger apartment and more rooms, but where we are here now is bigger than the place we were in previously. If you watched old live streams, we'd like one more room so my wife can completely put me in another room, and then she can have the lounge and kitchen back. So yeah, I wouldn't say all of this blow up things. I would like that to be the case. That's every YouTuber's dream. But there's a dream and there's a reality. So, yeah, I've got to go to the airport tomorrow, and I'm a bit emotional about the price of the taxi to go there. Because of the weather, it's not ideal to catch the train. There's a train that goes to the airport, but I've got to catch one train to another train, and then I've got to get to the train station to do that by public transport. And I would like to ride in a fancy taxi, like the nicer cars, but it's not so possible. So we have to do what we've got to do all the time, right? So doggy style, I'd love to say, why not buy a house? Yeah, it's not everybody's dream to do that, by the way. In Australia, we were living in an apartment also, but in a 3-level building. There was one across the road that was, 10 or 11 story. But we were near the beach, and that's what we liked about that area. We were across the road from a park. Great little spot where we were. Has your wife ever visited Australia? Yes, twice. Does she speak very good English? Yes, she does, Yulia. I'd say 95% English, maybe 97%. Yeah, she went once for a holiday, and then once we were living there for a year and a half. And that basically activated all her visas and things like that. So, bingo. Thank you. Yes. Oh, one more. What do you think? I like this donation alerts thing. Anyone wants to do more questions there? What do you think that distinguishes Russian people? Wow. Has your inner world changed? Has something new appeared in you after living here? I think there is something special about people in every country. I think people aren't as news orientated and reading the papers, even following sport. Not as much matters. Not as much outside of the bubble of yourself matters. Just what happens between yourself, your family, your friends, we don't have children, or your cat. And that's really the bubble, and it's going to work, going to the shops, do your thing. The country is huge. It's not as small as other countries in the world where you feel like you're living closer to people. Of course, there's apartment living, right? I mean, that's what we're in, an apartment here. We're still in a town where we live. We're not, as close to Moscow as other people are. But I just find there's less. I mean, maybe I'm not living that stressful, life. I mean, my wife and I haven't changed how we've lived in the last 2 years. I mean, all the years we've lived in the same building in 3 apartments, by the way. And we really want to find somewhere to live in this apartment and buy somewhere. Well, the bank will buy it, not me and my wife. The bank will buy a part of it and we'll buy a part of it. So I find, things are simpler here. When you've got to do something paperwork-wise, government-wise, or document-wise, you just go get it done, you suck it up, and you come home. You don't let it linger and worry you and think about it and talk about it and tell all your friends about it. You just do what you've got to do, and that's it. And there's just a simpler way of life. Look, it's just my wife and I. We've not got children or other things that are part of that. So, whereas in Australia, there was a little bit more on my mind. Things like bills and rent, mortgages, and things like this. Your car. Having petrol in your car. Waking up to go to work. Of course, YouTube is different. It's still a job, but it's a different way of that. To be more successful on YouTube, you've got to make more videos for more people to watch them and make better videos to get more views. So my wife thinks, you're just sitting in front of your computer all day, but I'm still got to get videos on the channel, and I've still got to celebrate success, or I don't know, cry when it's not doing well. So, it's, look, everybody in the world, or even in Russia, has problems, and everybody's problems are different, whatever it is, on a daily basis. And I think even everybody watching, and it's just how you deal with it. I'm a little bit more easier going about things. The only thing I ever worried about when I came back off ships, and then even living here, is as long as we can pay the bills, and we're not spending more than we're earning, that mentality, and that's fine. We're not going hungry. No one in Russia goes hungry, even despite all of this very, very bad thought that people are in different situations. It's yeah. Thank you, Bingo Bongo. I'm now behind on the chat. Hello from the Urals, still awake to listen. Thank you. Yes, it is late for a lot of people. Definitely past bedtime for most people. Like, tomorrow is still a working day in Russia, so looking at Big Brother China is now having serious problems. 1 out of 4 unemployed youth. Economic is in recession too. Yeah, look, I don't really follow Chinese news and all of this doggy style. That's the one thing too, A lot of people aren't necessarily glued to the TVs and listening to things. I'm a little bit more realistic as well, even when we're living in Australia, that, as long as we can live our life and deal with what we've got to deal with, and answer the emails, not necessarily check the letterbox and, things like that anymore, but, and we're all good. I talk English so bad, but watched some of your videos. I recommend you go to, I don't know the name of that in Russian, near Koptivo Station. I don't know the name of that place, Vlada. Sorry. But it sounds nice. Did you ever again Russian? Oh my gosh! Any real stormy weather when you worked on cruise ships? Yeah, Hurricane Sandy. If you're from the US, the one that went through the East Coast, and that was probably the main one that really was the one that affected what the cruise ships are on. We had bad weather in the Gulf of Mexico a lot every week. You only really get a nice day, like one day out of 14, or one day out of, let's call it 1 day out of 7, where it's beautiful glass weather crossing the Gulf of Mexico. We do a lot of cruises from Galveston down to Cozumel and back. So you got to cross the Gulf twice a week. So, yeah, Bay of Biscay in Europe, if you do the cruising in the western part of Europe. Alaska, you can also get bad weather when you do outside passage cruising rather than inside passage cruising. That the work crew on cruise ships are practicing corporate segregation. All the officers are British. Yeah, it depends on the cruise line. Or Italian, and all the engine room laborers from Pakistan. On cruise ships, it's not like that. Maybe on cargo ships or other vessels. Depends on the cruise lines. They've historically had the same crew from certain countries, because that's just a historical thing. Like Carnival has Italian deck and engine crew members. The engine officers are Italians. Perhaps things like the oilers and mechanics or motormen and things like that might be from the Philippines, Indonesia, Colombia, not really Pakistan, some Indian, Sri Lanka. On cruise ships, very, very few, if any, people from Pakistan. The cruise lines employ people through agencies in different countries. The majority of crew on Carnival Cruise Line would be Filipino, Indonesian, Indian, outside of the deck and engine, which would be Italian. So all of the officers on the bridge and the engine room would all be Italian. British would be a lot of the P&O ships and princess ships. And then I don't know really any. Italian would also be MSC as well. So long in Russia. How's your Russian? Malenki по-русски. Chut. There's a new series right up your alley, Russell. The Good Ship Murder. Someone's told me about this. I've read it on YouTube, on Facebook. But I've not watched it. Singer Souls Murders Heat Suite. The twist. He was a homicide detective. Wow. That's a crazy story. Just the story of the story. I don't really like those kind of things about ships. It's kind of like you don't watch Titanic while you're working on a cruise ship. You don't watch Poseidon Adventure and things like that. Even watching the documentaries about some of the recent incidents on ships in the last 20 years, which I would have known about, I don't like watching them either because I don't like sometimes how they're represented. Obviously truth or not truth or fact or fiction. The rest of the world is misrepresenting Russia. Cottage cozy on the high seas. I bought you a coffee. Thank you. Just seeing if I got some mess. I switched my Wi-Fi off on my phones. On my phones. I got one. This is the one that I film with. That my wife basically bought. So if anyone wants to know how I get donations for the channel, it's my wife. So let me just go to email, because it comes through email right here. So yes, thank you. It's buy me a Coca-Cola, by the way. That's the secret. Seeing if this works. Yes. Thank you so much. I think that's what you put. Seeing if this works. Yeah, I get that on an email, but I switched my email off. My phone that I film with, I don't have a SIM card in. Sorry. So I switched the Wi-Fi off, so it just improves the signal on the router in the house. So I probably could have seen it. Actually, I've got one email on my notifications there. And this is my normal phone, which is my old original phone. So yeah, thank you. And I think somebody also did SberBank. Thanks for your work. I can't read the name though, but someone did SberBank. Thank you. Thank you. Really and truly, thank you. I can't say thank yous enough. It's humbling when people do this. Greetings from New York. Your videos are the best next thing to physically being there. Yes, I agree with that on YouTube 100%. And the weird thing is when you watch someone else's video and you see it like posted 2 or 3 hours ago, and you know that the creator's probably watching the comments and the views in real time, that you're watching it a few hours later than it goes on their channel. And you know that where they're filmed, where they live is, there where they live, right? I totally agree with you. Yes. The real hydras aren't so pretty. Oh, okay. Thank you again, Bingo Bongo. Have you been to Kazan or Yekaterinburg? No. Which cities? I've only been to Ufa, and then Ufa region, which is where my wife is from. Been there a few times. Back in summer, I flew over to Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan. My neighbor from this building is now living there, Gleb. So he was there without his wife at the time. So he invited me for a boys' week. He just said, come for a couple of days. And I said, I'll come for a week, We didn't really do anything too over exciting. We rented a car for a few days, a different car to get around. We went out to the mountains and we went to the lake. And we went out for nice dinners and lunches. And it was really nice. Thank you. That's Bishkek, and we're going to go back again. Probably February. I'm not sure yet. March, well, January, February. He's invited his wife and daughters there now, so he's invited me back because he wants me to come back and hang out with him. I think he liked hanging out even when we lived in this building. Yes. So yeah, I've not been to any of these other places. Twice to St. Petersburg. I've talked about that. But none of the other, I guess, smaller, bigger cities in Russia. But Ufa I really like. There was a plan that we were going to go live there when we made a plan to live permanently in Russia. But we ended up still in the same building here, and we're happy. So, yeah, I wouldn't say Moscow is segregated. Some people may say that there's good and bad areas, but I think a lot of people live in peace and harmony together. You know, there's definitely not that divide. Maybe some people will say that because there's people from Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan in Russia, you know, which for me, I always consider them as part of the Soviet Union. I know it's not, but, you know, and the people that I meet on a daily basis, on the bus, on the train, in the shops, you know, it doesn't worry me, but I think that's come about because of cruise ships again. I'll talk about that again because of that mix of nationalities that puts everybody on par, you know, and yeah, there's definitely not, you know, there may be, but I don't know of that. 3 o'clock in New York. Oh, good time for America then. She lived in Italy for a very long time. Oh, okay. Townsville. I'm so excited to have caught a live stream. Yes, I started later today. E.M. McGrog. Thank you. Townsville's on the northeast of Australia, by the way. It's probably the furthest almost distance from Perth, where I'm from, between Perth and Cairns, I think, or Townsville. I think Cairns you can fly from Perth. I'm not sure. Don't know if there's Townsville flights, but hello from Stavropol. Now, on the table over here, I had to buy a bottle of vodka today from Stavropol. And the lady corrected me because I thought it was Sevastopol. She's like, no, it's Stavropol. And I'm like, okay. So yeah, whatever the brand of vodka we got is from your town. Year of the Dragon coming up. Yes. Oh, maybe time to show the dragon. What time are we at? We're almost over time here. But we're good. Bingo. Thank you, Bingo Bongo, for the hearts. Thank you so much. Peter, thank you. Better go now. But I'm a big fan. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Yes, I'm on Telegram if you want to join over there. Traveling with Russell channel. I post a lot every day, random things. So if you like just to see me posting things as a content creator. Russians from Utah. US brother. Thank you. Ben Nails. +8. In New York City. Yes, it's -9. I don't think the weather's changed in the few minutes we were here. I'm sure it hasn't. It might have done. Will my phone even update? Yeah, this is Celsius, by the way. So I wonder +8. Oh, yeah, you're all quoting Celsius. So it's -10. Feels like -17. And it's showing cloudy. But it says at 3 a.m. it's going to snow. Let's see. It's normally not wrong, but the amount of snow is the bit that I'm always thrown off with. North Carolina. Always famously Michael Jordan from there. I changed the reel down under and the most. Yes, Ushuaia. I never got to go to Ushuaia on a cruise ship. I missed by 2 weeks on the ship I was on. Was going to go down there and do the 14-day cruises around the bottom of South America. 14 days one way, 14 days back. And I missed out. 2 hours. Oh, Peter, thank you. So yeah, let's wind this up slowly, shall we? If anybody wants to do a last minute, let's say, question, thumbs up, like, super chat, donation alerts. Sorry, I'm pointing everything on the other screen because I don't have it right here. It's now your last chance. Oh, and that's exactly what Bingo Bongo said. Yes. Well, you're reading my mind. Do you speak Russian? Well, маленький по-русски. И Australia. Это дома Прелевка. Watch your shop tours and are very interesting. Thank you, Waynes. Thank you. Zuvanonzij. Wow. You always make me hungry every time you give reviews of supermarkets. Sorry. Yes. It's causing me to go to the grocery store with an appetite. Yeah, I should be on some sort of a commission, shouldn't I? I should figure out some link in the description that everybody says on videos. I don't have these sponsorships and brand deals. I don't have these people sending me emails and sending me money. Not money, but brand opportunities. I wish someone sent me money. I just want to take that fancy taxi tomorrow to the airport. That's all. Will you visit Bella Dacha? I've been there. I've got a video from there, but I don't think it's named. It's probably like shopping center under sanctions. But I've definitely done a video over there. I don't remember the name of which one it is, though. It's right next to Sadovot, which I've done the video on recently. But I was there definitely last year. It was probably a year ago at least. I was over there doing that video. I need to go back and rename and get rid of the sanctions under sanctions title on a lot of the shopping center videos to then name them after the location I went to for a little while. Would you recommend it, especially for a lady? Look, it's just, can she get her luggage, fill it up, and go and live on 6 months somewhere? Can she do that? Also, it depends on the job she's going to do as well. For a lady, it doesn't matter, men's or ladies. Obviously, if she's got a boyfriend for 7 years, I don't know how old she is, and she wants to get on a cruise ship and leave her boyfriend at home and then go on a ship with 1,000 crew, it might be a little bit interesting, you know. She might fall in love the first day. She might be, I don't know, crying. She's missing her boyfriend the first day, or she'll fall in love with somebody the first day. Definitely recommend it if, you know, she's a little bit adventurous and she's. It's hard work. Cruise ships are hard work. It's not a cushy job. Everybody does their thing that makes a cruise ship run, and how hard they work depends on their ability. And, you know, cruise ships can be easy to work on if you know your job, if you know what your duties are, what your schedule is, you know. And one thing I always say is you've got to learn to live on a ship before you can work on a ship. And, you know, because you if you're like for the shops, if you've got retail experience, you can go to work and sell. But, you know, making sure your uniform's pressed and neat, make sure you've got clean underwear or socks, make sure that, you know, you've got towels in your bathroom and you've got body wash to have a shower. You know, if the ship's at sea, there's no shop to go and buy things on some ships. There is on others, but definitely. It really depends on the job, though. Can't wait to get to the chocolate pudding from Globus. Wow. Zeddy. Yeah, there's a lot of supermarkets. Don't just find Globus. Wherever you're going to stay, there's going to be shops within walking distance. There'll be cafes, there'll be pastry shops, and that you'll be able to go to. Great looking. It is a great looking supermarket. Yes. I mean, they are in not necessarily in the center of Moscow. They're in the outside ring or the Makad, of Moscow. This one where I go to is convenient because of the bus and train station. Upload speed is fast. I'm not. I'm surprised. I guess I'm surprised at how slow Australia's internet is, based on how much we pay. There's a big gap in what we pay here and what we pay in Australia. Yes, and actually, even on the metro yesterday, I could upload very fast video to YouTube another video I'm uploading. So, and even in the metro underground in a tunnel, it works. You speak about Pam. I've never speak about Pam, because I've never been there. I saw Michael Jordan play in high school. Wow, purple. Imagine back then just seeing him and maybe knowing or maybe thinking, wondering, you know. Do you like football? What if I present you tickets to you? That would be pretty cool. At least maybe it would be good content to your channel. That would be really cool. The only thing with it at the moment is the fan ID. I need to sort that out, unless you know a way around that. I'm trying to upload the photograph to do the fan ID on Gostalugi. I really need to just go to one of the Gostalugi places and get them to help me. And then they'll tell me you need to do it yourself. Thank you for the content. Thank you, Alexei. Thank you. Yeah, football will be great. not sure. It's out of season now, isn't it? I think because of the winter. Must be. I didn't look at the schedule of this at the moment. I'm the worst person with going to a match. I'll look at the match. It's tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to go tomorrow. I'm not really planning a week ahead of time like I would in Australia. Excuse me. Now my daughter. Wow, 20. Wow, okay. Yeah, 2-room flat in our town. Yeah, it's possible. Even I was looking at where Sam's Russian Adventure is from in Vladimir region, and the difference in price up there versus, let's say, where I am in Moscow region here. From Arizona, hello, Marlene, hello. Oh, it has meant a lot to me since I cannot visit Moscow. Anna, that's very nice. Thanks, and you can live a little bit through me, or maybe other YouTubers. I was in Mega Delidacha before sanction, and it was a really nice place, but the main event was IKEA. Yes, that's the same with the Mega Troplestan, which is quite a bit smaller than Mega Belidacha. If anyone doesn't know, it's a shopping center with a walk bridge over a highway, and it's 2 shopping centers on each side of the highway with a bridge. And yeah, the IKEA was a big reason that people went to Megas. And the same with the that's why I've done them in the Troplestan, because it's closer to my area to go to. And anytime, even the last video I made about the iPhones, it was quiet. I mean, I walked around. I don't mind, but it's not a reason for me to go there anymore. I don't really know about inflation because I don't really follow the government announcements and news about that. I mean, actually, the mandarins were cheaper at Magnet than they were at Globus, one supermarket than the other. That's what worries me, is what I'm doing and what I'm buying and what I'm spending money on. Maybe you can get into Vnukovo Airport and get a life story. Alex from Govorovo. Well, I've done the video twice there, and then that's where I flew out of when I went to Bishkek, and when we went to Ufa. I'm trying to think where I flew to now. And get a life story. I don't know what I could do else I can do in Vnukovo Airport. It's actually easy to get there. I just get the bus to Salarevo and get the 911 bus that goes back to the airport. You really have to cruise for a cruise shop in terms of necessities. Absolutely, yeah. If you're going to work on the cruise ships, you just plan ahead. And I always like to have, back stock of things in case I can't get off the ship in a port and I can't go buy something. I always know I've got a few bottles of this, a few bottles of that, a few packs of something. Even pants for work, I've always got a spare pair if I split them or they pop or something, or, I spill something on them. Same with work shirts. I'd always have spare white work shirts. I just go to the cabin, change the shirt, come right back to work. Definitely. Hello. Hi, bro. Thank you, Elena. Oh, thank you. Not sure what you're saying there. Okay, everybody, we've passed 2 hours. I really hope you've enjoyed the live stream today. Please follow me on Telegram if you have Telegram on your phone as an app. If you don't, it's very similar to WhatsApp. There's a lot of groups and channels that you can join. I'm not promoting it. It's just an app. I've used it pretty much since I met my wife because it's a very popular thing in Russia. The Facebook version of, Facebook in Russia is called VK, which I don't really use. I have it, but I don't use it. I don't use it. So I just use Telegram because it's just easier. It's a messaging service that you can use the same way as WhatsApp. Trans-Siberian Express. No, I haven't been on it. No, Lawrence. I would love to do it. My wife won't do it, 1000%. I need to find another YouTuber, and we can do a YouTube together. That would be the collaboration, really. If I was to do one, is to do that. I wonder if you can make a video about Moscow's fancy food court depot. Oh, yes. And then the three stations one at Belaruskaya is the one I want to make a video at. For Muscovites who miss this place. Yes. Depot, I know. I've been there many times. And also show all the cars in the car park at Depot. Depot and three Vauxhall, or three stations. So that's another version of Depot. It's basically a really fancy food court if you're not from Moscow or you're not from Russia. But it's really quite reasonably priced. I mean, there is expensive things there, and then there's reasonably priced food. I think, yeah. So yeah, the 3 stations one I want to go to. Really, depot I should as well. But I can get the D4 state train right to the station nearby the 3 stations now. I'm in a story view of the airport. Yeah, you really got to know people who can get you to film things at these kind of places. I mean, doing the one in the metro you can do, but just walking in an airport and poking a camera around is a little bit more challenging. See you, Peter. Thanks. I'm off. I'm out of here. All the Franklin burgers. Well, I've only been to 3 of them. There's now one in Sarajevo shopping center. It opened the last few months. Actually, I had some at the Vegas, not Kunseva. What's that one up there called? Where is Crocker City or Vegas Crocker City? I think they're the same. I don't think they're any different. Hi, your cough could be allergies. I don't think it is. No, I think this is allergies, but not the cough. X5 group. Is that really X5 group? Like, really? Nice to meet you. Yes. Is that Pitorichka speaking? Hello, Pitorichka. X5 group is the group that is Pitorichka. And Perikrostok, Chizhik, was Carousel before. Wow. That's crazy if you're saying hello to me. Wow, if anyone's Russian and you know X5, say hello to them back, I think. With Wildberries, no more free returns. Yeah, they're changing that, right? Well, I've read again yesterday or today that they're changing, or the government want to change the policy of what Wildberries has introduced. Your cough could be allergies. Oh, yeah. But the allergies I need to see about my skin. Thanks, Sergey. Thank you. Yes. Dobro utro. Spokinoki. Best warm weather today in Russia is Sochi. Yeah, I would imagine it is. Have a good night. Okay, everybody. On that note, good night, X5. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much. I know it's impossible to thank people by name in the group that are here. You know who you are. Thank you for people who did donation alerts, super chats, thumbs ups, likes, comments. If anyone who wants to comment on this video afterwards, I'll try my best to reply. Watch some other videos or watch an old video. Maybe sort the videos by oldest first and check out some of the ones with a few thousand views. See how bad I was. Unfortunately, some of the older ones don't have the subtitling. I need to go back and fix them, but there's now too many videos. I'm doing like one every few days, but it's hard to keep on top of that. So yes, Marlene, thank you. David, I keep wanting to say Costa Fortuna. When I see Fortuna Minecraft, see you on Telegram. Yes, Biker also. Thanks, everybody. End stream. I'm going to click goodbye. Thanks for watching Traveling with Russell and a live stream. Good night. Alex Govorovo, thank you. Oh, I know you're not far from me here. Well, it's reasonably close. Govorovo. That's where I made the Lenta hypermarket video from. So yeah, bye, everybody. Bye.